How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Oh crap. How's everyone doing? Twitch dashboard, stop unmuting me. So I had my dashboard set to like show a preview but muted specifically so as to not get the echoes, and I got the echoes anyway and had to tell it to go mute. Yes, Mogrift, all items with the exception of some very specific, like hard-coded things, are launchers, even your start items. So initially it's interesting because unlike even the scavenger challenge mode, you have nothing to start your build with except launchers. It's fun though. Also, yes, fabrication works. All the methods of getting items except stockpiles operate normally. Enemies will drop normal parts, but they won't drop their weapons, so you have to get non-launcher weapons by other means, are the rules. Also, for those who know what AAs are, they do not spawn in this mode. They're not replaced with anything, they just flat don't spawn, which means certain areas are less useful than they usually are. Also, we have revision 17 here. Not that that's particularly relevant, but hello, revision 17. You came in contact with, I mean, everyone says hi to revision 17 because he always shows up in the tutorial. Oh, you know what one is in reference to AAs, yeah. So yes, once you know somewhat more about them, you'll understand why they change the usefulness of certain areas. Hey Moore, how are you doing? Oh dear, confusing Dalek. Keep playing, you'll probably die, but the run does not end until your core is destroyed. Anyway, so this being AFD mode, we are going to collect launchers. Now, these grenade launchers, we are not going to actually use for particularly long because they're not very good for our purposes. We want to salvage our build and we want to keep our matter up. And explosives are not very good at that. So instead, we are going to take one as armor. You can see that it is it has more coverage than my core. It's more likely to take the hit than my core is. But yes, minus 10, we are basically doing naked speedrun style. Minus 9, is when EM launchers start showing up, and that's where we're going to start really having fun. You might still make it at 1 core. Just hope they all miss. Ooh, now the recycling unit is useful because they can spawn with items that are not launchers. So let's try this. I'm not going to ask it to report just in case that reduces the chances. I'm interested in basically anything that's not a launcher, so I'm just going to go straight to retrieve. Oh, it's empty. Well then. Well, at least this is the one enemy type launchers are good at dealing with. How short is the range on these things? I will take the matter. Matter pod, light engine. I might actually do this. Take the engine. May also be worth it to actually try like recycling components, but this would normally be an out-of-depth stockpile. Instead, it's all on-depth launchers. Less than ideal. There we go. There's our exit, which I'm perfectly happy to take. And now, propulsion utility. Hooray! Our first useful thing. The EMP blaster. This one we really want. Also, we will regularly be hunting hullers because they and recyclers are our only source of storage. Aww. Oh well, we can deal with reinforcements. Including those. No, AFD is not an advanced options thing. You just change the date and time on your computer. And now we have our first leg. Which means we have propulsion that is not core hover. That is too heavy. Use the light ion. Here, I actually quite welcome enemies because they will give me parts to salvage. Yes, we got a leg up. Come on, stop missing. Okay, that worked. I will take it. But it's hard to aim on one leg. Actually, it's okay. They're bots, it's fine. Now we can have 2 launcher volleys, which is really nice. And we're going to switch near entirely to EM at this point. We'll take 1 mini grenade. Let's see. Manifests. What's it here? It's interesting. So as you can see, the haulers will still carry non-launcher weapons. So one of the reasons we're going to be hunting them, other than for storage, is for anti-programmer weapons, because programmers are heavily resistant to our primary EM weapons, and also have a certain resistance to our secondary explosive launchers. So you do see improved flight units, which are not particularly useful here. We will not be flying. And then, let's see. Okay, traps. Well, I'm glad I was warned of those! I will take this? No. Oh well. Come on, give me matter, please. Yeah, it does. There we go. Thank goodness. Matter is something of a struggle early in AFD games. This is pretty normal. Oh, come on, they both missed. I am slightly faster than this guy, which is nice. There we go. Take another. I'm going to drop this and take this because my legs are dying. There we go. Nice. As you can see, we're starting to get more matter each time rather than less, which is kind of the point. Though very soon we will want to have storage so that we can store more than just a few things and therefore be able to actually get stuff done. Come here, recycler. The recyclers have small storage. It's not the best, but if necessary, it will serve. I would prefer haulers. Bye, Xylan. Recharge well. Sweet, storage. Also, recyclers do drop a lot of matter, which is nice. And here's a hauler. I wish to hunt it. Hooray, medium storage. You can see now that my matter's pretty full, I'm more willing to like replace parts and stuff. Welcome back. Just gonna wait for this repair its materials. We can afford to do that. Also, I know where the exit is. That's good. We could go. It wouldn't really be a problem. It might be nice to get some more stuff. Alert, low security. Okay, we're good. That's annoying. I'm going to lure it around here and then deliberately be well back so I can launcher it. Hopefully also get its armor as a nice replacement. There we go. None of that, sadly. So this is where I start having actually interesting decisions to make at this exit. Specifically about whether I'm going tripod or hexapod or and not legs at all. So, in case it's not super clear, a tripod, 3 legs, hexapod, 6 legs. Hexapod tends to be not actually overweight and is better for if I want to run things like damper plating. Damper plating is pretty useful in AFD because it gives you 90% EM resistance, and you take some collateral damage in this. You really do. But tripod leaves you more slots for other things. Whether you really want other things that much is debatable because often you have trouble filling the utility slots. So let's see. In any case, I might just take 2 utilities or 1 utility, 1 weapon. Because we can always switch later fairly easily. And also right now I'm on treads, which support a fair bit. I am eating some of my dinner too. I didn't quite finish beforehand. On the other hand, what I could do is stay, because by -7, I really need to have anti-programmer weapons. And this is -9. So yeah, probably I'll just stay. I am quite happy to crush a watcher. Aww. Better luck next time. Actually, we were just discussing tripod versus hexapod for this. Yeah, Inspector Gadget Flight Hacker. Could be pretty fun as a build. Let's see, do I want any of this? Not really. Even the sensor I'd really prefer improved. Good armor is you have to salvage it all. So really you so like if you deliberately like go into the wastes and get damper plating, that kind of thing, yeah, you can. But then you run the risk of damaging it with explosives and so on. Yet bunch of legs is definitely the safer choice in terms of abundance, and also you don't even necessarily fill all your utilities in AFD. So in that case, yeah, probably hexapod. Confusing Dalek, generally no. Garrisons are not generally places you want to be. Right now, you go in them if you want to do the Super Gauntlet Challenge, where they're the only way to leave, or if you are fleeing something even worse, and so forth. In Beta 7, more stuff is coming where there will be more use for them. So. Yeah, Mar, you raise a good point, so I probably will go hexapod. Right now I'm just hunting haulers. No, I do not know what depth storage is on, but I believe all these storage items are also replaced by launchers, so the most I would get is out-of-depth launchers. We could ask Kizrati, though. I believe it's launchers, though, because I believe that storage is stockpiles. I don't know, but actually, we saw one of the out-of-depth stockpiles back on -10, and it was all grenade launchers. It was not out-of-depth launchers, so I believe they don't. Let's ask. We should ask. I just asked in the Cogmind channel. We should hopefully have a response soon. So Kizrati said, good question, not sure. I mean, people do not play this mode all that often, even though it's really fun. Okay, he said no. So, yeah, storage just is more combat then, which is not super useful. So we want to actually wait here for the brawler to come. Well, wait here. The brawler will come by, and then once it's in launcher range, we start launching it. Yes, I'm corrupted, we know this. Brawler is very slow and looks like they're trying to find a way around. Oh, now they noticed me after, because I figured they'd already noticed me because the Watcher called them. This is good enough. I do want to eventually go legs. That's why I'm keeping the legs, by the way. Okay, so the enemies are coming. So, based on what Kizrati said, all the research branches, completely useless because they either don't spawn their goodies at all, or they're only going to spawn on depth launchers. Storage is also completely useless for the same reason. And extension is mostly interesting if you're hacking, and it's really hard to get hackware. So the plan is to go into all the caves. Get out of the way, engineer, please. So we are planning to make extensive use of caves and chutes. The caves are also great for alert control. We will really, really want them for alert control. Ooh, a hauler. They are the reason we're still here. Come on. There we go. No storage, sadly, and I'm not interested in structural scanners. Plan for caves, imprint plus DM. I don't want DC because I would have to deal with CProgs a lot, but DM really helps reduce the rate of alert spiral, and with launchers, not only is it really easy to spiral alert, because you're doing a lot of collateral and terrain damage in addition to killing squads. Because your launchers are so powerful, it's also really easy to not notice. And like it feels like you just encountered an area with more frequent patrols, and suddenly you're in high sec. So a DM, no DC, imprint, because as you've seen, it's pretty hard to actually get hackware going and to really like stick around to fab and such. But imprint guarantees some use of terminals, and also gives allies that are a nice source of parts. Right, exactly. You can get like resupplies, which might have nice weapons. A lot of the bots have propulsion and so forth. So it really helps out in that way. And so yeah, that's the plan. Just take what is most helpful. It's also quite useful in this case that, wait, was that a security level 3? Let me check. No, that was security level 2. As I was saying, it's also really helpful here that with a good launcher build, you can bring down everything in the caves, including behemoths, by yourself. So it's pretty safe to fully explore the caves. It would be kind of nice to have sensors for that in order to catch certain nice events, but one of them doesn't work. Actually, two of them don't work, but only one of the two that don't work come up on sensors, because the two that don't work involve AAs. AAs aren't replaced at all. Non-AA based events, I'm not sure if Moldy still shows up. Because certain items that come in special are left alone. Like, if you go to Warlord, the cryofiber web is left alone, and it's kind of amusing. So actually, I'm going to take the second storage unit, and I'm going to use that to take these nice guns. And all these heavy ion engines are faulty. That's amusing. Yeah, AAs just flat are not replaced with anything. They just do not spawn. Going to try one of these on, see if some are faulty. Okay, one is faulty. Yeah, that's actually the reason I went to Extension, the first AFD run I did, because I knew that Zerov would be substantially less good. And that was fun, but it also put me in research at pretty high alert. But yeah, AA is not replaced. At this point, I think we're ready to go, because really I want 2 storage for here and 3 storage by the time we hit factory, because we're stuck with medium storage until haulers upgrade and start carrying large. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, Extension was an extremely smooth ride. This is going to be a bit of a spoiler for people who haven't been there, so like mute for like a minute. It was really, really nice. In fact, Cetus, the whole, you want lots of allies thing. I mean, I got lots of allies, but literally my first volley would bring down like 2 or 3 of each squad of Cetus guards. And then they just picked off the remainder. Because my allies were often faster and would get ahead of me. Ooh, an arc. But yeah, it's really, really good. And the sea discards are not particularly EM resistant, and a lot of launchers are very strong. By that point, I was up to 4 weapons, and unsurprisingly, they were all launchers. We may actually wind up corrupting this grunt to death. There we go. Another arc. Okay, let's back away. Also, one of my treads got rejected. This is the thing about corruption. I will, however, take these legs, because I do actually want to be on legs. In fact, let's drop the shotguns. Take. But yeah, 2 weapons is good for now, so I'll probably go 1 propulsion, 1 utility. Especially because I do want to switch to legs, and then start upgrading weapons in factory. Because as you can see, 2 weapons is still killing reasonably fast. Okay then. Ooh, nice, better launcher. Recyclers do still sometimes start with stuff in them. In this case, another shock bomb launcher. We don't really need that because we're going to get a lot of them being the on-depth launchers, but advanced terrain scanner would be sort of nice if we had a processor, but eh. There's this whole hidden section up here, huh? We would kind of like to get 3 storage units just because we're stuck with medium. If we had access to large right away, 2 would be fine, but we don't. Also, when it comes to extension, last time I did this, I actually was I was imprinted as well, so I didn't get as much benefit out of extension, but because I did the same imprint plus DM combo, I could use all the terminals to get more Zionite help instead of needing to get them open to access the extension allies, and so I had a massive group of allies. I got all the way to hub. And it was my first time having gone beyond like extension itself too. Hello, Hunter. Come out here. Yeah. Yeah, if extension winds up in place of some upper caves, it can be really, really good with imprints. In that run, extension was on -4, so it was great in that sense, but I didn't have another floor to pitch the alert from the caves. And so I went into research with relatively high alert, and that was a problem. I want this recycler to die as well because it took a leg that the hunter dropped. Maybe that was a different recycler. Okay. Yeah, especially because you don't really want to go to W. Although W is extremely survivable in this kind of build. Like, extremely survivable. Because you can bring down main C squads by yourself. Just the power you get from having a launcher build is pretty amazing. Prototype flight units when we don't want them. This is our third storage though, which is really nice. So these traps, we're just gonna blow them up. Yeah. I mean, it's the availability heuristic. It's more annoying to get something when you don't want it, so you remember that more, but still, it feels like that. These blade traps. We'll take a missile. I am looking around because I want to upgrade my launchers. Ideally, you always have a full complement of EM launchers appropriate to the depth. So you know roughly where the haulers are. Okay, a bunch of them are up there, and some of them are around here. Good to know. I'm also taking a bit more in way of engine backups than you normally would, because AFD has this tendency to blow engines up. Either you're working with EM, which explodes them as a side effect, or you're working with EX, which explodes them rather directly. I'm going to repair this leg. There we go. Like that. Like this. So, enhanced autoguns, very nice. Heavy EM shotguns, not anti-programmer weapons. Particle cannons, they're okay as anti-programmer weapons. So that's good to know. I mean, we could leave. Ideally, I'd want better legs. But we could leave. Any thoughts whether or not we should leave? We've actually yet to take any core damage, which is kind of funny because we're actually playing combat. That's true. Though, I also want to have a signal interpreter. For -7 at least. Because I need to find the cave's exit. And I mean, I could get that on -7, but I could also get that now. So, if I want to hunt watchers for that, it makes sense to do that while there are no programmers. Because I'm going to put it on to identify exits. Aw. See, this is the difficulty with getting processors and other fragile utilities in AFD mode, that EM fries them and EX blows them up. Probably gonna hunt watchers, because I've got enough storage capacity now. Also, I can improve my storage units. Ooh, these are the enhanced autoguns. Which is kind of important because they tend to come damaged because you're salvaging them, and then they take a lot of damage. Drop this. In fact, very often you wind up wanting to carry backup storage. I'm gonna pitch this. Take. In fact, I will start carrying backup storage now. Probably gonna take the enhanced autoguns over the improved medium lasers. I'm okay with kinetic because we're set up to use a fair amount of matter for a launcher build anyway. And not a 1 is faulty, that's kind of impressive. So I'll take another one. In fact, I'm going to drop 2 of these because they're not on depth anymore. 4 anti-programmer guns should be enough for a while. And the enhanced autoguns are nice because they last a while. And they're pretty solid for a while, being fairly good prototypes. Ooh, there's a leg, that's nice. We could actually run like 4 storage for now. Probably a good idea even, since we do eventually want to swap to legs. I'm actually going to check this recycling unit and see if it got more stuff. Because recyclers probably put stuff in here. Like this. Including the carbon fiber leg and the light nuclear core, which we want. There we go. So I'm going to force the hunter to come over here. And I'm going to deal with the group first. The hunter is more annoying, but there is only one. we go. And now we have a reasonable number of legs too, which is good. Probably next evolution, 1 weapon, 1 propulsion. Just to get armor going nice and early. Please move away from me so I can launcher you. See, it's still frying the signal interpreter. Kind of a pain. I hope that these get replaced though, so that I can... I get more that way. Yeah, we'll hunt the hauler. There's the particle cannons. There is fresher storage. Do I want to take a backup? Yeah, I actually do. Even though we are wandering around with 4 storage. We've forgotten what particle cannons are. Okay. I'm gonna take this engine just for the better integrity. Swarmers are at least not much of a problem to this, because you have AoE, a lot of it. Thank goodness, signal interpreter. Now what do we want to drop for this? We will drop the worst of these legs. And now we have everything we really wanted off the floor. We will scan some stuff. There we go. Just things that will remain fairly useful, ideally. The storage primarily, because that's one of the things you can actually realistically get that remains pretty useful. But we will also scan this. Not that it's going to remain useful for super long, but just to actually make use of this thing. Oh, one was damaged. Oh well. Rendered non-functional. That's okay. Don't particularly care that much. 3 anti-programmer guns is sufficient. 4 is nice, but 3 is sufficient. Schematic system shield, if I wanted to go hacking, is not really going to work. Not an AFD. Hello, Sentry. And goodbye. The robot shut down and was promptly destroyed. That's entertaining. So my current set of treads is dying. Which is why we replaced them. Honestly, we don't need to use a scanalyzer. We can just go. Well, okay. Ooh, a prototype launcher. These can be really, really good. In fact, I don't want to damage it. So I'm going to deal with the double squad like this. Launchers being AoE, they are quite strong at dealing with squads. It's part of why with AFD you can get higher alert than you realize. Because larger squad sizes aren't giving you much of an inconvenience. Aww. Well, I'm gonna back up just to force these to have more trouble. Hey Mel, how's it going? I'm pretty okay with that. That's why I did it. We will want to restock launchers fairly soon. That's a functional advanced EMP blaster, that's nice. Yeah, for storage, because one, I want to switch to Legs next floor, and two, it being AFD, I'm stuck with mediums until haulers upgrade to large. Because you have to salvage all your storage. Yeah, I guess I could fab it, but then you have to stick around to fab. Not the easiest thing. Pretty sure there's an exit here, or a garrison, one of the two. Exit, yep. There we go, that's handled. I want this. This is really good. And there's the garrison, which explains why I was having so much trouble. Here's what we do to garrisons in AFD. And since we are right by the exit, and exits have a limit on how close you can be to them and still have enemies spawn from them, we are going to be gone before that's an issue. So next evolution, the choice is really between propulsion, utility, and weapons. We are going to switch to legs, bear that in mind. We don't super need it. Eventually we will go hexapod. Yeah, I do eventually want to get up to about 4 weapons. 4 weapons worked really, really well last time. Especially in the caves, it's nice to have a big volley and bring down entire squads or behemoths or so forth. Probably 1 util, 1 weapon. Good point. Hello, factory. Also, we have a signal interpreter, which we killed many watchers for, in order to identify exits because we absolutely want caves. Okay, we're going to try to seal this immediately. And now we're going to blow it up. We can handle an assault. Hence my extreme willingness to blow it up. Also, navigation with AFD, you really prefer open spaces a lot more than you normally would. Oh, hey, Terminus. Yeah, AFD is really fun. Oh, right, I have this armor. I should put it on right away. So I have all these legs because basically once the treads die, I'm going to go to legs. Also, the extra misfire chance is really nice. Inflicted on enemies that way. And the one launcher I still really wanted is in perfect shape. We will drop this. And take the matter. There's the arc, that's probably the assault that's coming for me. You can see why I want to go into the waist. You wind up taking a lot of collateral damage. Actually, I'm going to do the leg swap right now because we have a bunch of nicer legs here. We are overweight by 1 because of this engine. We could swap engines and then we won't be overweight. Kind of nice. You can... why are we storing treads? We shouldn't be. We won't be using them anymore. Nicer armor. And we'll take the least damage treads just in case. What is this? It's heatsink. Don't really care. Okay, level access. Useful to know where not to go. What do we want? The 1% garrison index. Oh well. We are not going to catch that surf. Analyses I don't have. So, Mouth, just so you know, the plan is imprint plus DC. Well, no, not DC, DM. DC we really don't want because we don't want to contend with C-Progs. But DM is really good for alert control, and on AFD we really want alert control. Yeah. DC, you can't even get the weapons off C-Progs because bots don't drop their weapons in AFD mode. And so there's no point, but DM's really good. Also, you'll notice as the levels get larger, we have a lot more opportunity to get like the right launchers. There's an exit, okay. Yay! This looks like caves to me. But I have this specifically to check. It is caves! This is where we want to go. We don't really need anything from here. I'm going to drop this plain light armor for the improved. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I insisted on having the signal interpreter. Yeah, time to go. This is where we want to go. Also, by the way, all the scrap is replaced by single launchers, because the scrap is treated as an item. Yet nobody ever does this and gets all the way to caves to notice that. I believe it's like just me and Nuzcraft that have ever done it. And Nuzcraft ended his AFD run by deliberately launching the data miner. So this will note will probably come back as some of our launchers get damaged. Although honestly, we might just drop a leg. I know this isn't the right way, but I'm just looking around. Maybe it is. Maybe we got one of those weird spawns. Hang on. Nope. It's a regular spawn. Also, derelict logs get replaced the same way because they're also items. You know how I said you can bring down everything in the caves with a good launcher build? This is what I mean. That was slightly annoying, but oh well. We're overweight again. Oh well. To be honest, we're kind of okay with that. Though probably next floor we'll take another prop because we eventually want to get to hexapod. And we do want to get damper plating at some point in factory. So we will want the support to wear that. And wear the storage to carry backups of it. Damper plating, not just for the massive armor, it's basically the only good armor that's really available to you by salvage, unless you want to do something like go to Cetus and so forth, but also for the fact that it gives you 90% EM resist, and with the launcher builds fairly often by level layout, you're forced into situations where you have to take splash damage yourself, especially in research becoming more of a maze. And so damper plating is really useful to reduce the effect that actually has on you. Yeah, EM Storm, DC specifically, well no, DM specifically helping with a lot of the alert control from that. Would be nice to get sensors as well, so that I can do InfoWar and help the, keep alert down that way. Yeah, not only really hard to fight, but the places you would go to encounter him in the first place are pretty useless places to go, is the thing, right? So you're not really likely to go there, whereas dropping down a chute is fairly easy. I mean, Centrium Heavy is nice, but do you want to go to through this entire place full of researchers and more enemies as combat just to get it, right? Hello, friend. Where for chutes, you just drop down a chute. Not easier. Can find it as a prototype. Prototype via what, though? Because all the stockpiles are replaced by launchers. I mean, in normal runs, I agree. In this run, no. For AFD strategy specifically, it's a lot. It's basically like Scavenger, except that you have these extra tools to help you scavenge in the form of the launchers themselves. Seven could be useful for armor too if you want good armor. I mean, I've only been in 7 once, and I didn't see a lot of the nice armor things. I mean, I saw a 7 guard, but I don't think I want to wade through that just for it, especially since researchers, right? And it's pretty hard to keep corruption down far enough that you're not going to misfire when you're dealing with a primary EM in the maze that is research. Primary EM launchers even, right? I mean, they're all good points in that these are places where you might get armor, but I'm not sure that they're worth it. Where chutes is pretty clearly worth it. Because it's fairly easy to deal with the crushers. You just carry explosives, which you're being given a lot of anyway. In fact, soon enough I will want to start carrying 2 explosive launchers. Okay, that's a base. We're not going there. That's true. Being scanned is less of an issue, but doesn't the scanning send you bots specifically tailored to work against you? Like tailored to your weaknesses, which is Yeah, right? Oh, okay, so their resistances aren't hugely bad. Okay. Even though I found the exit, I'm going to keep exploring. Not uh, for like logs and stuff, because they're all being replaced by launchers, but because it's actually pretty safe to explore caves in this. You can bring everything down. Can give you non-launcher weapons. In AFD, robots do not drop their weapons when they die. You have to, if you want non-launcher weapons, you have to get them from fabrication or robots that were carrying them. Yeah, initially robots did drop their weapons when they died, but that resulted in a lot of people salvaging other weapons and then using those. So Kizrati patched that out so that so that other bots specifically don't drop their weapons. Uh, you have to have it be bots that were carrying them, like haulers or resupplies. Also, as you might imagine, if what we get here is Zion, I'm dropping all my weapons and beelining the gates. Huh, looks like there's just, like, nothing in this entire section here. Okay. But yeah, you can, like, fully explore caves in AFD. You just see, like, every open tile. Because you can bring down anything with a good launcher build. Fresh leg. I will take it. Yeah, I'm done. Exit time. I mean, we could go up there if we really wanted to. Do you think this is a base, or do we think this is like a derelict friendly event? Okay, let's find out then. Okay, scrap room. I mean, I'll take this. Yep, with all the scrap being replaced by launchers, that's what it is. Nice. Please move. Come on. For that. So that's also a reason you want to have a fair amount of EM resist, because you're going to be doing that a lot. You're going to do pretty much the same thing here, explore the whole thing. I would like to find MD and see if it gets replaced. Hey, Confusing Dog, welcome back. AFD ZDC. You get a lot of EM tools. So, in that sense, yes. For the GUs, if you're getting them off bots and they're not weapons, which I presume they're not weapons, they'll drop. Although, you know, salvage rules apply as usual. If they're on the ground, I don't know if they're replaced. They may well be replaced. It's only like very inconsistent special stuff that doesn't get replaced. Like, for example, if you go to W, the giant tape machine gets replaced and the cryofiber web doesn't. So I don't know the rules exactly. I'm pretty sure even Kazrati doesn't know the rules exactly because he patched it in pretty quickly. Confusing Dog, what we're gonna do is so we are planning to go through all the caves on this run. We're not gonna do any of the really super secret stuff in the caves. So if you've like been around the caves and you've seen the reward areas, you're okay. There is some like super secret advanced player stuff in the caves that we're specifically not doing. We're avoiding all those. So I will totally understand if you want to leave because spoilers. I've done that myself on so many streams. And it'll be pretty clear when we're about to enter a reward area. Okay, so since I have a signal interpreter, I'll know which reward area we're entering before we enter it. If it's Zion, you should be good because you've already seen it and we're not going to do anything particularly unusual there. We're not going to do ZDC. That's one of those secret advanced things. If it's there is another possibility for what it might be, and if it's that, you'll know before I actually go in, so you can leave. And in fact, if you want to leave just for that and be pinged to come back after, we can do that. Though the ones we're going to, they all have lasting effects, so you would see some of the lasting effects if you did that. If you really want no spoilers, best to leave as soon as we reach an area you haven't seen. Was that an arc over there? I think that was an arc. Totally fine, not a problem. At some point, I would also like a melee weapon for the sake of being able to break walls to get to like moldy and stuff. If it's Zion, you'll get to see that because I'm going to imprint. The basics of what imprinting does aren't super spoilers, but if you want to leave once... so what imprinting does beyond orange, it becomes obvious only once you get back to the complex. So if I do it, you can definitely stick around until I get back to the complex. Whether you want to stick around afterwards and see me use imprinting is up to you. It's really... The spoilers around imprinting are really more the lore. What you can do with imprinting is not really a spoiler. Ah, okay, yeah, sure. So you'll know when to leave when it comes, and I can tell you to. So I'm preferring launchers over legs here because the launchers are less plentiful in the caves. So this is a behemoth. Guess what we do with behemoths in AFD mode? We do this! It's really funny to watch a behemoth misfire. Sure, Terminus, on combat where you're actually going to fight behemoths because you're on treads or similar, that is what you do. But I'm usually flying. One dead behemoth! For our troubles, we get better armor. Maybe I should take the coolant injector. We don't get super hot with launchers, but you do get somewhat hot, especially with EM. Also, because we corrupted the behemoth to death, none of that stuff will self-destruct. All still here, see? Alright, see you, Dalek. Also, one interesting thing about AFD is that because it's a lot like Scavenger, you keep the whole mindset that, you know, enemies are your part source the entire way through the run, which is really useful both for like thinking about salvage in general and for learning specific stuff like farming in materials and so forth, where there's like specific points where you want energy, where you want enemies to be part sources. I do think that playing AFD contributed to my ability to at least sometimes do the flying brick farm. Well, that was completely useless. There we go. Take that. Pretty sure this is a heatsink. So, Zion. Okay. Yeah, just as before, exploring the entire caves area. Because we've got the time. And we don't really have to fear anything here. Case in point. Fresh legs. And the first thing to do, take these all off. We will return for them later when we have no corruption. Oh, hello, A8. That's good to have, especially because we are not going to annoy the A series this time around. Right, there we go. Okay, this bot is actually supposed to give out launchers, which is nice. So all the Zionite like bots, shops and stuff get replaced too. You get launchers instead of them. But that one is at least actually supposed to be launchers. Hello, demo bot. Okay, good to know. And into Zion. Yeah, all the Zionite shops get overwritten. You don't get the nice makeshift parts or decoders or anything. It's quite sad. Is this the same bot or was this a different bot? I'm not preoccupied. Tell me more. Prototype parts must be made into really good prototype launchers then. I actually don't think so. I think that it's just part gets replaced by launcher on depth or just under depth with a rare prototype chance. Because if you look at stockpiles in AFD, the patterning of ratings, it doesn't match up to normal stockpile patterns. I mean, I think it might try to prefer the same rating if the rating's super close to the on depth one, because I don't see launchers that are really off depth in the same way that you see parts you really don't need. But like I've seen prototypes and prototype launchers come up in AFD, but they don't come up like I don't think they come up in the same pattern. Not super sure. As for the phasing AFG, actually the first AFD run I did, I saw a bunch of the like bots that were clearly giving out items where I hadn't seen the item before. So I replayed the seed to discover what the items were, and one of them turned out to be the phasing AFG. So this is the lore that says that shoots reset alert because they mark you for dead, but not quite reset to 0 apparently. Anyway, I'm going to go around and collect lore, as you might imagine. Guided micronuke would be really nice. So yeah, this is makeshift bot, and you get a bunch of launchers instead. This is the imprinter's hangout. I'm going to imprint, so we are quite happy with this. Not sure why the imprinter wants to transmit data deep into the caves. I will see probably when I go do ZDC at some point. I'm saving ZDC until I've had a combat win, but if I win AFD, I count that as a combat win. Interesting, the derelicts. This tells me more about what the derelicts know about the Sigics. I'm going to take the schematic. I'm not likely to use it, but I will take it. Oh yeah, I want to do it at some point. I'm just waiting until I'm likely to get reasonably interesting results from doing it is all. This is the tinker that studies Bach, that studies the unaware, that's fine. Ooh, Mega Wrench. Believe Mega Wrench actually still does what you would expect. So I'm gonna put all my most damaged stuff on. Okay, let's go. Hello, Mega Wrench. Nice. Yep, okay. Time to go. Ooh. Didn't see that bot. Must have had wanderings, but okay. Wait for my allies. No reason really not to. And let's go. So because we've jumped up a depth, we now get launchers for the next rating up. Oh, did they find an enemy? They did. I'm trying to inflict as little damage on my allies as possible, hence the choice of aim. What will make dispatches fun? The allies or what? Oh yeah. Dispatches are really fun in AFD. I mean, there's a reason I call it maximum boom. You blow a lot of stuff up. Nice! Reactors on -6. What threat? Come on. Ah. That's fine. gonna deal with this one first because I don't have to swap out. There you go. This is why we still keep explosives. You'll notice that I'm pretty confidently ignoring treads now because we have a steady supply of legs. Sorry, buddies. Oh yeah, I got to access on my last AFD run, and once you start getting gamma bomb arrays in research, it becomes nuts. Like, I hit high sec. I would like to not hit high sec this time, which is why I'm insisting on going to all the caves. What threat? Come on. They're barely a threat. But yeah, with gamma bomb arrays, you fry squads, is what happens. Yeah, see, problem was that I hit high sec in -2, and I'd also lost my storage because haulers weren't dropping it fast enough. And so I had difficulty with rebuilding because it's really hard to do that if you can't keep your storage. You can't keep stuff around because really with AFD, you need to have propulsion to carry your stuff and engines to power your launchers and your launchers. Well, no. Propulsion engines and storage to carry what you're salvaging, or even with all the launchers, that's not going to help you. Should I take the reflective plating? It doesn't seem quite as useful compared to the higher integrity layered plating. But I can come back to this later since I've corrupted the bot to death. Hello, Ark. That's fine. I was just heading back to go get fresh legs, really. Ah, I still only have one on. Hang on. Go back to my full volley. Yeah, once I have the support, I do want to get to damper plating. I believe it's here on -6 that haulers start having large storage, so I can use that to have another slot by using large storage instead of medium. Where were all those legs? Up here. Okay. Okay, there we go. What's this? Did I miss a bit? Not much. You're a base. That's fine. I'm not sure that firing on arcs like this is actually helping me very much. I don't know if I can kill them. Well, that's convenient. Found me the exit. Obviously, we found the exit. It's just I want to find all the events too. That's true. Could just be a single sentry, but I figured that it was going to request backup pretty quickly if I didn't kill it. Yes, I'm still like going back to take better legs. So I'm thinking one propulsion, one utility. We won't need the fourth weapon slot for a while. We are now back underweight, which is really nice. And then hopefully we'll swap to large storage soon and have more room for damper plating. We do eventually want damper plating. I would like to get melee weapons. They're actually kind of hard to get because you can't salvage them off melee bots. And you can't get them from stockpiles. So basically you have to get them via like fabrication or haulers or resupplies, and that's it. Those are your only options. We got a large storage, that's good. We are overweight, but that is acceptable. Come on. Also going to try these on because they might be replacements for our anti-programmer guns. So advanced beam rifles. Not really better, to be honest. What about these? Antimatter cannon. That's kind of cool. Sure, I'll take one. We're not going to carry around 2 backup mediums anymore, so let's go. I get 1 shot at this, but worth a try. Huh, I destroyed the data core. Interesting. With that additional volley. So data cores must be super fragile because EM launchers don't do that much damage to parts on the ground. That does also mean that I preserved the operator's terminal. I can do Zion hacks to it. Programmers already. Okay. That was probably the operator's terminal. Okay, here we go. Hello, Zion, what do you have for me? Only recon squads, ha. Depth-wide sectors 0 and -1. Stockpiles are useless to me. I don't even know if it's going to report the launchers themselves or what was there before the launchers. I'd be somewhat interested in the depth-wide sectors, kind of to know where extension is, though I'm going to use interpreters, but so it's either that or recon. What do you think? That's true. -1 tells me more because it can also tell me whether it's Warlord or Zerov. Sure. Seek 4. Thank you. Now I'd like to hole up in a room that's not full of these to fight the programmers. Okay, not a great room. But here we go. This is why we carry these guns around. What's the blasphemy, Mel? Not taking allies? That's interesting. A lot of bots seem to be coming from there. Potentially an exit. Oh, using non-launchers. I mean, the ability to get them via haulers was left in for a resupply, for a reason. And given that programmers have resistances to both the common launcher types, you can't really complain. Yeah, I specifically do that for anti-programmer weapons. Basically everything else is handled well by one or the other of the launcher damage types, so it's fine. So I'm not very fast because I'm overweight, and this isn't helping. Let's try the other room. There we go. Here's a nice room. Because soon enough the programmer will come for me. Come on. Here you go. So report. Zero's next. Yeah, antimatter cannon negative salvage, but EM is pretty good for bringing matter back up. Yeah, you're right. I may want to launch some neutrals pretty soon. Roster hasn't changed. Intel hasn't changed. Could take either recon or take sector 0 to nail down where extension is. I'm honestly going to take sector 0 because I also want to re-roll the intel looking for branch access. There we go. Come on, recyclers die. There we go. Oops, some of those were working. Time for me to be gone. Also like, oops. I think those are the reinforcements, which suggests garrison? Either garrison or main exit. I want to draw them back. Nice! Sensors! I'm aiming a little bit off precisely because I don't want to damage the sensors. It's very rare that you get them in AFD. I want to see if these bots are coming from a garrison. I can take a beating to do it. They're coming from over there, okay. So I'll pull them back. I'm actually going to start using the sensors and swapping in and out. Ooh. Gonna take a look. Scatter rocket array, haha. It's rare to actually get to see anything with sensors in AFD. Generally, you don't. I am okay with being jammed. I know there's another like factory section there, but I actually want to be in open spaces because I'm on a launcher build. Unlike normal builds where you want the choke points. There is a garrison here. I'm gonna try sealing it, at least. There we go. Nice. Ooh! This one might be a smart ball! Guided EMP blaster! So we saw a two-slot prototype launcher. So I thought it might be smart bomb, but no, guided EMP. This is really sweet. I don't have the sensor range to really pair with it very well. To really shoot around corners well with it, so I don't think I'm going to use it as my primary launcher. But it is really nice. More programmers, but they can't come from that garrison at least. Now, I do fully intend to fire the guided EMP blaster at some point. And I would like to know what that prototype is as well. Nice, terminal. Let's find out where extension is. Not that I intend to go there, but it's good to know for exit sense. Report. Data miner only, so extension is on -4. Roster, heavies and recon, intel, just the schematics. So do we want to try to reroll intel, or do we want to get some buddies? Really could do either. That's true. Heavies. I mean, we can get more intel later, and also we might jump down a chute. So dispatch 1, thank you. Hey, Bug Sniper. Nice. Should have swapped out the sensors, but let's see, where are... None of them were damaged, okay. Explodes with all the action. Yeah, this is a very explosive style of game. 1 slot. Precision rocket launcher. As much fun as the scatter rocket array is, I think the precision rocket launcher is better suited to the way I want to use explosives in this game. Also, scatter rocket array is a 6 of my matter with every shot. No, those are heavies. I really should go down here just in case there is an exit. Actually, I did find Mr. Boom, but even Zionite shops get replaced with just on-depth launchers, so he just had regular launchers instead of special out-of-depth launchers. Roster, Intel. So let's see. Do we want to take the drones, or do we want to start re-rolling Intel? The drones would be nice as exit finders. While we figure that out, I do actually think I want a second explosive launcher just in case. Like, the drones are nice for exit finding, but also they're gonna get more terminals locked before I can get to them. You know what? For science, I'm going to take the component schematics and see if, component stockpiles, and see if it tells me where the launchers are or what they were before launchers. Let's find out. It's like, for optimization, yeah, it's pretty clear that actually it's not clear, which is the entire point, but science can be the determining factor. Yeah, drones are fairly strong as exit finders, especially because I'm slow, right? They're not nearly as strong for fast builds, which generally want to be stealthier and have a better time of exit finding. But this is a very slow build, so. That's true. Even on slow builds, they can be less than spectacular. Faulty guided EMP blaster. Ooh, exit. What kind? Factory. Okay. Now we will recognize those on site. We're not going to get to that, so I'm shooting the terminal to prevent it from being usable by the operator. Okay, so that terminal also has an operator. Good to know. But the operator is not there. Ooh, shoots! So these all get replaced by launchers too, of note. Hey. Come on, there you go. Yeah, we actually want the crushers. We want their damper plating. Yeah, we can wreck them. Hello, buddies. We can wreck them, we want to wreck them. We want their wonderful, wonderful plating. Ooh, we got one! Oh, increased salvage? That's a good point. Ha! It has 800 integrity, too. So what are we dropping for this? We will drop this, because we don't need it. We'll drop this, because our storage is still in good condition. We will put this on and drop this, because it's nearly dead. And now we have one damper plating. This is propulsion shielding, we don't care. We do care for the antimatter reactor, but we'll take it later. Warlord allies, it's possible, but they'd be the kind that I have to go find. They wouldn't be the kind that's already settled everything. This on, drop this, take this. Oh, okay. So either I managed to kill 2 with my explosions, or there are some allies around. Yeah, also, I do want the second set of damper plating. So what am I gonna drop? I'm gonna drop the antimatter cannon. I'm gonna drop okay, second death, so that was me. I'm gonna replace these legs, because I doubt they're gonna get critted off. We are going to need backup propulsion at some point, but one Zionite is down. Both Zionites are down. Okay. So I am faster than this guy, which is really helpful. Also, these things drop tons and tons of matter. Coolant injector, that is a good point. I do sometimes get hot, is the thing. Especially when I fire EM for extended periods. There you go. Actually, I should have done this. Next time I will repair the sensors, for good's sake. If you spend a long time in the chute, don't you get more corruption? Only if it's the EMP chutes. Not all of them are. Aha! We have allies! Their stash has been replaced with more launchers. I can't really abandon these guys because I'm not fast enough. Even if I actually wanted to abandon these guys. You'll notice we're not getting anything out of depth here because of the launcher replacement rules. A working guided EMP blaster. Nice. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to drop the coolant injector because we're going to find more heat management. It's pretty common on bots. And I'm going to take a leg. Okay, apparently the only non-crushed one is pretty badly damaged, but oh well. Yeah, holy, we have damper plating. And shortly we are gonna be using it. Do you want to take a second guided EMP blaster? Did they leave behind good treads? Yeah, I know, only one guided at once. The second one would be backup. The damper plating is heavy, but we're gonna go hexapod. 6 legs. And we're going to try to switch over entirely to large storage and then just have one of them on, so we'll have, I think, somewhat less storage weight too. In any case, I mean, treads are pretty available, but good treads are less available, so I would prefer to stick to legs here. Legs are super common. Or do I want to take this with me too? As fun as guided is, I think I should leave it. We rarely have the sensors that are good enough to shoot around corners. In particular, it's going to be very hard to get long range or better because there aren't any stockpiles and it's very hard to get hackware to fabricate. The only way would be an InfoWar resupply that's really viable. So I think I'm going to leave it because how am I going to know what's around the corner at far enough range? Alright, let's go. Aww. I realized that I did leave behind the Zionite stuff, and maybe I shouldn't have, but also I think a bunch of it got crushed. Not sure. Maybe go back and watch. Another guided EMP blaster. This is hilarious. But same reasoning applies. %9 corruption already is a bit of a pain. The pair of derelict surgeons is really nice, though, because they'll repair each other and my allies. So these allies will actually last quite a while. Roster. Loyalty in question, dispatches revoked. I assume because of the launcher collateral damage. Okay, until it is. I don't think they can repair their own corruption, but if I have any wizards, I think they can do that. Active terminals, because super useful. Sure, I'll take a neutrino core. Wait, one of the bots had a precision rocket launcher? Was that one of the demos that died? Oh, it's gone. Okay. Collision imminent. No, that's not where I want to go. I'm just checking in case there's an exit around here, really. Plus, these are Warlord bots, so it must have been just the couple of Zionite heavies getting stuck in collateral damage that got my dispatches revoked. I assume the demo saw Watcher or something. Ooh, I'm gonna use this. I have sensors to repair. Scan component, sensor array. These work. Thank you. So weapons can be severed off bots. This is good to know. I think I prefer the enhanced autogun still. I think this is the operator's terminal. Port. And then roster. Still revoked. Intel. I think garrisons to know where to avoid. And then after that, tin doors. Okay. They're kind of spread out. This is fine. If you sever the gun off a wizard, it helps you a lot more. I assume because... okay, that's a garrison. We need to seal that. Because they can't shoot anymore, so they spend all their time hacking. So my allies are not going to back away from this, so I have to seal this garrison. Or else nothing good will come of this. Seal. Seal. Thank goodness. Otherwise I would have launched it. I absolutely would have launched it. Precision grenade launcher. Eh. Haha, nice. High sec is less nice though. Legs. Okay, good. Better legs. Right. Programmer died very fast. For kicks, I'm going to try to scan some damper plating. Say you can't get the schematic. Failed components not registered. But it tells you what it is. Just wanted to see what it did, mostly. And we got an assault. I would like caves soon. Real soon. Remind me where the terminals are? Okay. So I take it there's going to be demos because of the large number of allies? Come on. I'm ignoring the enemies because I really want the terminal. Ooh, I will take the leg. Come on. Yes, I'm gonna kick. Where was the leg? Oh, come on. Oh, I did get it. Okay. And that terminal's down. Hopefully this one will be okay. That might be the assault. Or this one is. No, there is an imp. I really don't like imps. I also don't want to destroy this terminal. At least the imp is dead. Not where I wanted to go. The high corruption you get with this kind of thing is always something of an adventure. Honestly, I'm going to take some damage here because I want the terminal. Report, garrisons, thank you. Roster, still in question. Intel, emergency access, that's what I'm going to take. Seek 1. Now, armor, engine, weapons. Aww. We do want to get into the caves and pitch all this alert. It will be very important. Excellent. Come on. Hopefully the next fight will be less huge and I'll have more time to actually recover legs. Okay, I suspect that I can get to the terminal there. Kick. Come on. Nope. For now, I will also take backup treads, just in case. Oh yeah, I'll put my sensors back on too. Okay, it's in there. There's the programmer coming. Report, queue, Intel, components and prototypes, roster, still revoked, components. Now, let's open my armor. Swap in the anti-programmer guns. And fire. I definitely got some pretty noticeable alert to have 2 assaults come relatively quickly. Actually. Well, that didn't work. I'm trying to kill the operator. Well, the data core's gonna die, but that's okay. Really, what I wanted was the use of the terminal. And port. Intel. Depth wide -1, I already know what's there. Prototype stock files, I'll take it. Okay, so it is all launchers. So it is telling me where the... So it is actually the items as they currently are. Let's see, that's a garrison. Those are the other two garrisons, and I want them gone, ideally. Let's try, I think there's a terminal cluster over here that might be useful. Okay, that's a room and a hallway up there. That's not what I want. That's the arc coming for me. Okay. Position. That was less than convenient. I need the matter, so I am going to go over there. That's kind of nice. Should I take the phase cannons as my new anti-programmer weapons? I'll be in high sec soon. Honestly, I'm hoping to find some caves so that I'm not in high sec soon. Collected large storage unit. Now you must die. Here you go. Come on. Okay, hang on. They are very hot weapons. This is true. I'll stick with the enhanced autoguns. Port. No prototypes. Roster still in question. Intel. I will take the guard positions. I'm kind of tempted to find a room that has just one door and sit in it and just kill programmers and assaults for a while so that my alert goes down. Report. Intel. Branch access, finally! So I need one more terminal, and then I know where to go. And once I know where to go, I should be good. Because in caves, I'm going to pitch all the alert I get here. Report, lower caves. Intel, I will take traps. Ah, right there. Okay. That's where we're going. Out of here. I'm a bit worried about my propulsion, but we do have the backup treads. And propulsion remains relatively easy to salvage in the caves. So let's go. Ooh, that's interesting. That's a terminal right away. There we go. Open up. I rejected that. Hang on. No bug sniper, not even makeshift rocket launcher. All the just regular stuff. Next evolution, I really want to be able to put this damper plating on so that I stop taking so much corruption. Really, really want to. I'm exploring this now mostly so that I don't have to backtrack even more later. Managed to rewire anyone disabled by my EM attacks. No, because they usually die to corruption first, rather than winding up shut down. And even in the rare case where they do wind up shut down, they usually die shortly after to the rest of my launcher volley. Would be fun to get allies that way, for sure, but no. Come on. You'll notice that I'm not routing around bots. That's because that was interfering with flight timings, and so I have that turned off now. Back to all legs, this is good. But yeah, just for advanced flight navigation, it was becoming an issue that the reroutes would not go where I expected. So here's my exit. Gonna look around just in case. Probably not much. And let's visit the data miner. Well, after the second lower case, of course. That's what I mean. That's the factory exit, okay. It's a hunter, which I would actually like to have die. I would actually prefer to engage all these enemies because they're part sources. And I will drop my sensors and fire away. There you go. Hello, buddy. Good night, Moore. Recharge well. Thanks for the good luck. Hello, Ark. That's fine. Heads up to everyone, I'm probably just going to get to the data miner and then stop for the night. I know Melt also wants to stream, and also I've been going for like almost 4 hours now, I think. Yeah, I'm not all that fast a player in real time. I mean, this is faster than what I was doing earlier, where I spent the 4 hours just in materials, but I really am not the fastest real-time player, and also here I'm super thoroughly exploring all the caves. Both in that I can and try to get all the events, and in that it's bringing my alert down a lot because I'm spending so long here. Which is useful when I am getting assaults. There we go, that's the data miner exit. So I'm going to finish this explore and then park at that exit. No, just popping into the caves doesn't lower it to 0. What it does is it gives you a bunch of time for alert decay to kick in. And especially these slower builds that will do more fighting spend longer there, and so have longer for that effect to run. And every time you take stairs, even if they're not stairs up to the next step, you lower alert just because you're leaving the area. And so caves are also a lot of stairs, is what it is. So between those effects, that's why you get so much of an alert reduction from caves, and why quite a lot of builds will find that their alert is effectively zeroed by going in caves. Those are imps. I do not want to tangle with them. I guess I have tangled with them. Let's see if they come. Right, those are thieves. Silly me. They're the derelict imps. Matter warning. Yeah, I know. Should go see if were there any piles around here? Yeah, there were. Let's go back for that. Come on. Those will also serve as a matter source. That's fine. When I actually hit the wall I want to. And I'm going to need to replace my sensors again because I didn't swap them out. I'm really not used to actually having to swap sensors in and out. I rarely have to, because I'm usually just running away very fast. See, that shot's actually deliberate. I set it up intentionally with the idea that if I hit and killed the brawler early, that the rest of the shots would still be pointed in a place that was useful to me. And let's go. So these misdirects always stop you in case you want to pick a different path, which can be kind of annoying in this case. Alright. I'm gonna stop for the night. Thanks everyone for coming. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. See you around.